In today's video, I'm going to explain how you can use options to trade Bitcoin for big short-term profits. Now, I learned this strategy from master options trader Larry Benedict. It's pretty simple to understand and implement, so it's perfect for beginners, intermediates, and alike. So if you're looking to grow your retirement account or get some extra income, then this strategy is for you. So what I'm going to do in the video is I'm going to explain why this strategy is so good for trading Bitcoin. I'm going to give you the stock to trade. I'm going to explain the types of options you need to use for this. And then I'm going to show you how to spot the trades. And then if you want to go down a deeper rabbit hole with this, I'm also going to give you a resource that I personally use. But if you want Larry Benedict's trade alert, so you know when to get in and out of his Bitcoin trades, but also AI stock options trades, I'll leave a link to his service, One Ticker Trader, below. I've been a member since 2021. I love it, and I've made lots of money with it using his options advisory service. If you want to join that to get Bitcoin trades and AI stock trades, link in the comment description below. Okay, so let's get on with the video. So why is using options so great to trade Bitcoin? Well, there's kind of two reasons really, because a lot of you probably thinking you can't use options to trade Bitcoin, but you can, and that all changed last year. But firstly, in order to maximize your profits from options, you need volatile stocks. If the market's flat, options don't really work so well. So the more volatile a stock is, the better it is for your options trades, because there's going to be sort of, you can get in before the stock goes up or get out before the stock goes down. And this is why Bitcoin is so good for options trading, because there are particular stocks that you can trade to get exposure to Bitcoin using options. In fact, the stock that I recommend you do your options trades on, or for trading Bitcoin with options, is the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. This has only been going about a year, but it is a great stock to trade with options, because what most people will do if they want to trade Bitcoin or sort of get exposure to Bitcoin, they'll buy Bitcoin themselves. But the problem is, if you want one Bitcoin, it's 110,000, and yes, per coin. But obviously, you can buy fractions of that. But really, how much money are you going to make unless you could buy one Bitcoin or have enough money to buy, 5-10 Bitcoin? For the average person, that just isn't feasible. And really, the best, whilst, we never know the huge returns from Bitcoin, where you can make a couple 100%, and in the early days, thousands of percent gains, they're most likely over, unless Bitcoin crashes in price again and goes below 20 or 10,000 or even lower. Highly unlikely. But that's how people normally buy Bitcoin. They buy Bitcoin directly, or you can buy shares in the ETF I just showed you or told you, the iShares Bitcoin Trust ETF. You buy shares in that, and this ETF is meant for institutional investors or investors who don't feel comfortable buying Bitcoin off exchanges, but they still want exposure to Bitcoin. So the other way is to invest in these ETFs, Bitcoin ETFs, and get exposure to Bitcoin that way, because these ETFs track the price of Bitcoin, so they're just as volatile as Bitcoin. But seeing that we're smart investors and traders, we're going to use options to trade this ETF. And why is that a good idea? Because options use leverage, and when you use leverage, you can make bigger profits in a shorter period of time. And it is just, in many ways, obviously, when you buy an option, I don't know if you know, not if you're a beginner, you probably don't. So one options contract controls 100 shares. So if you bought the shares in this Bitcoin Trust ETF, I do believe the price of this is around about $25. So to buy 100 shares in that, if my maths is correct, is $2,500. So to basically control 100 shares with one options contract is going to be significantly cheaper. It's going to be, it could only be a couple of $100, $200-$300 depending on the premium you pay. But the returns could be a lot greater than buying the shares directly. I mean, you could make 50, 100, 150, maybe even 200% or more in a matter of days or a week. This is the power of using options to trade Bitcoin using this ETF. So what kind of options can you use or do we use to trade stocks in this ETF to get exposure to Bitcoin? So if you think the price of the IBIT or Bitcoin Trust ETF is going up, you'd buy a call option. So basically you're hedging your bets that the price is going to go up on the shares of this ETF, and depending on what price you think, or strike price, which we call it with options, you pick a strike price. If the shares exceed that strike price, you're in the money and your option is profitable. Conversely, if you think the price is going down, you buy a put option. So you pick a price, strike price, you think the share price of the ETF is going to exceed or drop below. You buy your option with that strike. Obviously, if the share price dips below your strike price, you're again in the money and your option is profitable. And that is really the game in a nutshell. It's the simplest way of trading options. Don't get me wrong, there's many other ways and strategies to use options that are more sophisticated, more complex, but for beginners, this is a really great strategy to get in using options to trade Bitcoin, but not just Bitcoin, other shares and also AI stocks as well, which is really, really powerful. So that is basically how you run this strategy. And like I said, this is a beautiful strategy with options because Bitcoin is highly volatile. The IBIT or Bitcoin Trust ETF is highly volatile. So that means there's plenty of opportunities to get in with many trades per month where you can get some nice short-term profits. The next question is, how do we spot these trades? Well, Larry basically teaches, he goes off a strategy called mean reversion. And all that means is once a stock gets overextended, either above the moving average or below, that stock will eventually snap back like a rubber band towards the moving average. So basically what you're looking for is when a stock gets overextended, that is usually a sign of a reversal in the stock price, which means you can get in and basically ride the crash or ride the stock going up. So how do we spot these reversals? Well, there's a couple of strategies. So one of them is if Bitcoin fails to confirm a high or low, that can be a sign of a reversal. The second one is to use the relative strength index. So when Bitcoin is overbought or oversold, that can be a sign of a reversal. Also, if there's a divergence between the RSI and Bitcoin's price, that can be a sign of a reversal. Also, the 50-day moving average can be really powerful as well. So if the IBIT stock price is diverging away from the 50-day moving average, and there's a big gap either up above the moving average or below, again, that can be a sign of a reversal. So that is really, those are the kind of indicators you can use to spot a really nice juicy trade in the IBIT for your options. And that really is the strategy in a nutshell. I know this is a very simplified way. I didn't really go really deep into this strategy, but I just wanted to give you an overview of how this works, because once you understand it, it's so powerful, because there's so many opportunities to trade Bitcoin using options contracts because it is so volatile. And the beautiful thing is is you don't have to sell your retirement account to do this. You can just put a pot of money aside and use this along with your long-term trading strategy or investment strategy. And you can just play with this strategy and make consistent income monthly and obviously top up your retirement account, whatever you want to do. Now, if you want to go down this rabbit hole deeper of how to use options to trade Bitcoin, highly recommend you join or try out Larry Benedict's One Ticker Trader service, because he'll explain the strategy in a lot greater detail with a free special report you can get for free for just trying out his One Ticker Trader service, and you get all of his other special reports for free as well. He's got an AI stock or a special report for how to trade AI stocks using options as well, which is absolutely golden. But the key part of his service are his trade alerts. So if you want to get options trade alerts for when to get into to Bitcoin or AI stocks, Larry's service is golden. He'll tell you the strike price to get in, what to pay, when to get in, and when to get out. So you don't have to figure it all out for yourself, and it all will appear in the members area. So you'll get trade alerts delivered to your phone or in the members area. And Larry is on an absolute tear in 2025. I think his average return on an option is about 50%. And I think he's on a winning streak. I think he's got 80% winning trades this year, which is really, really good. So I highly recommend the service. So if you want to try it risk-free for 60 days and get the Bitcoin, how to use options trade Bitcoin free report, link in the comments and description below. I've been a member for a couple of years now, since 2021, and I absolutely love it, and I've done really well off Larry's trades. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you found the video useful and informative, and I'll speak to you soon.